Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Peace Circle. I welcome you. My name is Gina, and I am a practitioner from Concordia Centers for Spiritual Living, and I am blessed to be here sharing the truth, sharing the good news, and bringing us to a place of greater peace. That is the purpose of the Peace Circle, where we come together to raise our personal vibrations so that we can be that change we wish to see in the world. And, you know, I don't know anyone that wouldn't want world peace. I don't personally know of anyone that wouldn't want more inner peace. But the answer is we already have it. We have a choice always to see and to choose peace. We are that. It's all there is. Knowing that God, the Spirit, whatever it is you call that infinite creator that rises the sun and in this moment is setting the sun right upon me. That is that infinite love, that infinite peace that is always available. It's whether or not we are accessing it. And today's topic on that note is freedom. We have the choice always to choose freedom, to choose that peace, to choose that love, to choose what we are cultivating in our lives. So today we are going to use that topic to bring us closer to that place of peace on a personal level, and as we go through on a community level, and then in the world. What does that look like? That's why this Peace Circle came about, because when I first came into these teachings, I wanted all these things, but I didn't even know what that meant. I wanted to be in a place of peace, yet I never knew what it looked like. I grew up in inner city Boston. There was never quiet in my home. How would I know what that looked like? How would I know how to cultivate that? So it was a process of going through these studies, of coming into the truth of who I am and who Spirit is, and that connection. And when I really understood it, then it really started to not just manifest in a different way, but I realized that I had the opportunity to be the change I wish to see. So today, as I said, is our topic of freedom. But before we go into that, I always begin the Peace Circle with I Too Have a Dream, which is my poem that to me describes what the purpose of the Peace Circle is. In my dream, too, we all are equal. And not color, religion, nor income defines who we are. Neither country nor region defines us as kin, whether 2 legs or 4, plant or animal. We were all created of the one Creator, with no greater claim to borrow this beautiful earth. In my dream, we all are one, treating each other with love and respect, and living in peace. We are all truly awake, knowing our purpose, to share love and joy and to uplift each other, and in doing so, uplift ourselves. In my dream, we each remember and appreciate each other and truly understand that all is well. So in that knowing that all is well, I invite you, please, I would love any comments that you may have, anything that you, as we're going through, anything that you want to share with your experience on it, please let me know. That's why we're here live, is to be here in that place of knowing, in that place of choice. So I wanted to share the definition of freedom in the glossary in the back of the Science of Mind textbook, okay? Freedom, it says, is real freedom means that man is created in the image of perfection and let alone and allowed to make the discovery for himself. Freedom of will means the ability to do, say, and think as one wishes, to express life as one personally desires. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, Jesus taught. The understanding of truth, infinite principle, is the emancipator. We are bound by our very freedom Our free will binds us. This universe, being deductive only, cannot refuse us anything. The very force that makes us sick can heal us. As man realizes his oneness with the creative mind, he is released from the bondage of false thinking. He sees too that freedom means liberty, but not license. So we have the ability within us for amazing things. And we have that will. At any given point, we can choose, yes, I want this. And the law of attraction then works on our behalf. But far too often, we're caught up in things that we don't want. I know for me, I can often get distracted with things that I see on the news that are upsetting to me that I don't want. Or when we get caught up in bills, or if there's whatever distraction or seeming problem there may be, that's what's frustrating us. That's what's at that point of, my attention. And that's what I'm calling it too. So our teachings really, in addition to the practices, our tools, which are, reading, meditating, there's visioning, there's so many gifts that we get that we can cultivate these tools. Our free will is whether or not we have the life we wish to live. And it says it binds us as much as it frees us, because sometimes we can get stuck in patterns. Unfortunately, sometimes we get caught up in, if you stub your toe, it's hard not to think of your toe. So when there is some point in our life that is that place of, sometimes it's emotional or physical pain, discomfort, it's often what's getting our attraction. And as a result of that, we're attracting more of that. Oftentimes people are in relationships, and what happens is they they'll finally leave a bad relationship, and they end up finding another one that's just the same. Or they meet somebody different, but it's the same things that happen. Well, it's the same point of attraction. There has to be something different to make something different. So what are you doing in your life? What are you choosing to have and create and attract? So I'd like to play this first song. And it really, to me, it's that power that spirit is in and as us, that gift of free will that we get to focus on. And we get to understand the power of divine within us, the creators that we are, when we remember. So the first song that I'm going to play is actually from Faith Rivera. And I invite you to just settle in and pay attention as you're listening. What is it that you have been paying attention to? Have you been spending more time on what is going right and what you choose? Or is it on what you don't like and what might frustrate you, or what is not what you wanted? What are you paying attention to? And then shift that into, what is it that you're meant to pay attention to? What is important? What do you choose? So wanting peace and wanting that love and wanting that, what do you choose? And be in that place of just listening.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lives is me. For where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak truth is, where I work, love is my career, and where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me. Oh, oh. Do do do. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is, God is, oh, God is, God is.
So as the song says, God is, that infinite spirit is in and as you, able to do all of those amazing things that you would wish for. So many people go through life in a place of wanting to hit the lottery. I had an uncle that used to say that all the time. I'm going to hit the lottery, and when I do, and when I do. And, you know, it was just his signature thing. And he would joke, but he would, at the same time, he would always say it, and it would always make us all smile. But there are many people that spend their life waiting for that thing. When you can be that change you wish to see. It's about, what am I drawing to me? Yes, there's miracles. There's all kinds of miracles. My job is to figure out the how. It's to choose the what. What is it that I want? And I'm going to share with you a reading from Daily Word from this December 14th of this past year. And it says, I am free to create my life. I'm blessed with the freedom to create my experience of life through my thoughts. I may have obligations and expectations, but I decide the outlook with which I approach them. My attitude of hope and promise, of discovery and joy, makes each day special. The power of my mind frees me from the limits of circumstance, no longer discouraged by situations I don't like. I am free to use my creative mind to envision the greatest outcomes I can imagine. I am free to use my powers of judgment and will to make determinations in the best interests of others and myself. Spiritual law tells me thoughts are things. And as I place my attention on something, I am creating my reality. I am blessed with the freedom to create my life. And yes, absolutely. Each one has the freedom to create life. And what does that look like for you? And that choice is a beautiful thing. So at any given moment, I can play music, I can read a book, I can do all kinds of things. And either I can watch them that are being life reinforcing and that are creating and cultivating the things I want, or the things I don't want. And it's important to know and choose, but at the same time, I need to be in the world and help make it different. That's one of my personal goals, is that I don't want to just be here for me. Nelson Mandela said, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." So it's not just about me. I live and share this world. And in my relationships, when it comes to family and friends, am I cultivating harmony and peace? Am I cultivating what I would choose? What is it that I want in life? And am I being that? That's the most important thing. Am I acting in that manner? Because it absolutely, you have the entire universe, the law is working towards bringing what you're focused upon. And it's not about the how. I don't have to figure that out. I don't have to wonder about whether it's the lottery, and I don't have to wonder if it's going to be because somebody left it to me. I don't have to figure out the how. There's infinite supply. But am I accepting my good? Am I expecting my good? Am I creating it? In the textbook Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes says on page 108, freedom of will means the ability to do, say, and think as one wishes, to express life as one personally desires to be able merely to think and dream of freedom would not be liberty. A prisoner under a life sentence can do that. To imagine without the power to manifest such imagination would be to remain in a dream world which would never come to self-realization. This is not a world in which man lives at all. For man's world is one of self-expression, even though this expression appears to limit him. We are an infinite mind, and infinite mind is also in us. It is by this mind that we think. This mind is eternal. Therefore, we are eternal. This mind is complete. Therefore, we are spiritually complete, though we do not appear to be so. This does not alter the fact that potential man is just as perfect as the inherent God. As Jesus said, "Fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." If it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, we should learn how to receive and use it. There is good that is meant for us, and the freedom is in taking that good and knowing that I am worthy of it, not because of what I've done, but because of who I am and whose I am. It's making that choice and knowing and focusing on what matters. It's consciously cultivating and knowing what your power is and accepting it fully, embracing it, knowing who and whose you are. There's such power in that. There is a presence in the universe that's for good, and we can use it. Are you using it? Are you living in that place of power? So the next song I'm going to play is "I've Got the Power" by Karen Drucker. And I invite you to be in that place of knowing how powerful you are. You are that divine, individualized expression of that one and you are powerful.
I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
Every day I'm wasting my time thinking that someone else is gonna do it all for me. I've got to get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step towards my destiny. I'll define my direction with clear-cut intention. Declare what will be, and then watch it come to me. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
There are days when I feel that I'm just no good. Days when I don't even wanna try. But when I stop, look and listen and surrender, I hear a voice of truth I cannot deny. And it says, you know you can do it. Just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and the will to see it through. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me.
Yeah, I've got the power inside of me. In those times when I feel so frightened and it seems like I just can't go on, I've got to look deep inside, 'cause that's where I find the power, the power, the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power, deep inside of me. Yeah,
I've got the power.
I've got it
I've got the power inside.
deep inside of me. I've got it.
I've got the power inside.
Oh, there's nothing I can't do, 'cause I got the power, yeah. I've got the power, you got the power, we got the power, yeah.
I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
I've got the power, you got the power, we got the power, yeah.
I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
Every single day you just got to say, I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Power! Talking about power, yeah. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Every single day you just got to say, I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
Yes, you've got the power within you. We have the power to change the world, to live in a way that works for everyone. Now, when you think about your community that you're in, whether it be your spiritual community, whether it be even our families, or we're looking at our relationship with friends, or our community in general, are there circumstances that you would love to see change? I know that every time that I go by someone that's, that is homeless, that is either asking for money or has a sign or anything like that, or I see people that are not living in conditions that I know is worthy of them. I know the truth of them. It's not about pity. It's about knowing their truth, knowing that there is plenty of food in this world for everyone. There's abundance in all forms. There is infinite supply. And we get a choice in what it is that we do with that. I bless them and know their truth. And I offer what I can. I actually had a friend one time that was upset with me for giving someone money. Do you know what they're going to do with that? And you know, it doesn't matter what they do with that. They appeared to need more than I did. And it made me grateful that I had enough to give. I was blessed to know that not only did I have enough, but I had enough to share. What they do with it is irrelevant. It's what I do with it that matters. When I know that I am in that place of abundance, that I have something to share with the world. What are you sharing with the world? How are you giving of yourself, using that freedom that you have? How are you being that change? And you know, there's many ways, and none are wrong. Oftentimes we get caught up in life. And I'm brought back to remembering again and again that when I give, I receive tenfold in amazing ways. So it's being in that place of knowing the gratitude multiplies. That feeling of good multiplies anything good coming to me. It puts me in a receptive place. I've known people that I've worked with as a life coach, and I've had clients that couldn't even take a compliment. You know, people that say, and we've all had people that said, oh, you know, I love your sweater. And they said, this old thing? Not only can they not take a compliment, they're insulting the person that gave it to them. When people, you know, we often have things that we want, goals that we want to achieve, but we're not meant to do everything alone. Freedom is our lifestyle. It's our way of living. Every thought is a choice. And the tricky thing in that is we were raised with certain beliefs. And, you know, it's funny, the reason that I picked this topic, it was today's reading in the Science of Mind magazine I absolutely loved. And it says, out of control, with a question mark, and it says, good news. It says, the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. Well, yeah. And from Ernest Holmes, the light eternal is my guide and my protection. In that light, there is no darkness at all. It is a perfect light, shining from the altar of a perfect love. Some of us grow up in such scary, dysfunctional, and unpredictable environments that as we mature, we become extremely controlling in our lives. We feel if we control everything, we will be safe. It is a great coping mechanism that often helps us function successfully, at least for a limited time and in a limited way. Somewhere along the road on your spiritual journey, however, you will discover that you must finally surrender your need to control, including your need to know. In your yielding into the great love intelligence that governs this universe, you will discover all your plans and schemes pale in comparison to what God has in store for you. You will discover the love of God inside you is more powerful than anything you could have imagined. The great plan for your life surpasses any idea you may have orchestrated in your limited notion of life. We think we have all the answers, and we're pretty arrogant about that. In your own great surrender, you will discover, surprisingly, that you know nothing. It is difficult to trust the unknown But if you can truly surrender your willfulness, you will know a love and a joy that surpasses anything you have known in this human experience. You will begin to see miracles in your daily life. You will be in the divine flow. You will be guided to the perfect solutions to all problems. Your capacity to love will grow in many ways that will surprise you. And the affirmation is, I surrender my life to the life of God, and I am set free. Again, I surrender my life into the life of God, and I am set free. So when I get my egoic mind out of the way, and I get into that place of that higher self. Yes, Wayne, it is that when I'm putting on the Christ, when I am being that best version of myself. Yes, that is when I get the opportunity to be set free. There is no limitation. Everything that I need is always provided, and in amazing ways. But I have to get myself out of the way sometimes. I have to remember truth. There is a divine plan, and that divine flow is amazing. When I simply allow myself to get out of the way. And I just want to say that was a Reverend Karen Wiley is doing the writing the daily readings for this month for Science Mind magazine. And they've been wonderful already. I've really appreciated them. But it's knowing that that is when we're set free, when I don't have to micromanage life. I let spirit be, I let God be God. You know, I let spirit take and be and show me the way. I love visioning because it's one of the times where I stop my thinking and allow spirit to guide me to a higher version of me. And I'm always shown more or greater than I would have ever thought for myself. We get choices. And in those choices, it's how we act and how we react to life. There's freedom in even that. There are some things that I see and I am appalled. There's some things that, you know, we look in our society today and, you know, the United States, we're known for our freedom and our free will. And here we are, a country that seems to be divided in so many ways. That's what freedom has brought us. When in truth, there is only one. And I can respect what it is that you have. There's enough room for all of us. It doesn't have to be mine or yours. We're in this together. And it will come together again. And I am holding that and knowing that greater view that spirit has. I am knowing that highest vision. And that's why we come together. We come together for that highest vision so that we can be that change and embody that in everyday life. And there's a quote that I loved, and it was from the book of Joy from Douglas Abram. And he actually was reprinting it. It was from the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. It says, as I challenged Bishop Desmond Tutu on a point in aggressive manner, I saw his head drop back in reaction, and perhaps some defensiveness. But in a split second, I watched the Archbishop collect his consciousness, reflect on his options, and choose his response. One that was thoughtful and engaged, rather than reactive and rejecting. It was one of the most profound examples of what a prayerful and meditative life can give us. That pause, the freedom to respond instead of react. And I think that is one of the greatest freedoms we can cultivate. See, I have the right to say anything that I want to, but that doesn't mean I have the right to hurt people's feelings. something that I had learned that I loved and hated at the same time. Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. I don't have the right to make other people feel bad. I may have the freedom to be able to say it, but that doesn't mean that I should. And it's not about should, would, could. It's simply about it's not the ideal of who I would choose to be. I want to show up as love today. I want to use my freedom in a positive way that is building up not just my life, but those around me. So to be in that thoughtful place to respond to life in a calm and spiritual way. Oftentimes things happen and it's easy to react. It's a little tougher to take a breath and ask, what is spirit as me in this moment? How do I act? As parents, we often have we have situations, and not just parents, but even, as daughters and sons, and as workers, there's plenty of circumstances where I want to react and I want to say something. But there are things that happen that are none of my business. And I may have an opinion, but it doesn't mean that the best thing for me to do in that moment is give that opinion. Having free will is a lot of responsibility. That freedom to say and do is wonderful, but it yields a power. Everything that I say has consequences. And I love the example that's given that, an old man, like grandfather, goes out with his grandson. And anytime he says anything hurtful, the grandson has to go out and he has to nail a nail into the fence. He takes the hammer and he hammers the nail into the fence. And any time that he says anything that's makes someone feel bad, or anytime he does something that's, not his highest version of him, he goes out and he hammers another nail. And after some time, the grandfather takes him out there with just the hammer, and he says, okay, now take all the nails out. And he says, those are words you can never get back. Those holes can never be filled. It's done. Damage was made. So it's understanding that everything I do or say cultivates everything in my life. There's reasons for why things look the way they do in my world. And I can be that catalyst of change, not only in my own surroundings, but in the higher. And that is why we're here. To respond rather than react. To go in there in our spiritual practices rather than get caught up in the level of form. To know truth as opposed to be distracted by what's around. So we get that choice, and I offer you, what is yours to do? What is, in this time in our society, in our world, what is yours to do? What are you called to do within your spiritual community? How are you called to service? And it's in your own way. Everybody has different things they're good at. You may be great at electronics, and you may be great on the computer. We have a network full of good news here. We are here to share new thought. Well, there's plenty of opportunities here. If you're good on the computer, help us out. You can volunteer time here. And it's sharing good news to the world. But you can do that at your center. You can do that in your community. You could be a mentor. There's something somewhere that's meant for you. So part of that freedom is saying yes. When you realize what it is, there is someone that needs what you have. Someone that needs your talents, your skills. Someone that needs that call, that upbeat. How are you doing? What are you called to? It's paying attention and knowing what is yours. So I want you, as you're listening to this song, it's a great song by Eddie Watkins Jr., and it is saying yes to life. So in your freedom of knowing that it could be something you've always wanted to do or you're called to for a while, what are you saying yes to in life? What are you called to say yes to?
Well, I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes. Yes to life. Saying yes to life, yes, right now. Yes, yes. The spirit of love within me is expressing itself right now. The spirit of joy within me is expressing itself right now. What are we gonna create today? The universe is ready to play. Yes, spirit surely will lead the way. Yes, if you just say yes. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. Ooh, I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 woo, yes to life. Within me is expressing itself right now. The spirit of light within me is expressing itself right now. Whatsoever you conceive, if you believe it, you can achieve it. The universe will always agree if you just say yes. I'm saying yes, saying, saying, saying yes. Yes, yes. I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. Yes to life. I'm saying yes. Yes, 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 yes. Woo-hoo. Yes to life. Oh, I'm saying yes to life. Oh, let me hear you say.
Are you saying yes to life? The spirit of life within you is expressing itself right now. What are you saying yes to? What is exciting you? Louise Hay, this book, Heart Thoughts, is one of my favorites, and says you can choose to be that part of your spirit that is totally free. If you can be free in one area, you can be free in many areas. Be willing to be free. Be willing to be free. What would it look like if you were free? What would it look like if you were living that highest vision of you? What would it look like? And then it goes on to say, I am free. I affirm the following. I am pure spirit and light and energy. I see myself as being free. I am free in my mind. I am free in my emotions. I am free in my relationships. I am free in my body. I am free in my life. I allow myself to connect to that part of me that is pure spirit and that is totally free. I release all of my seeming limitations and my human mind fears. I no longer feel stuck. Let go of anything that is not serving you. Free yourself from the bondage of whatever it may be. It's not real as much as it seems like it is. And as I'm looking at this right now, and I'm seeing that sunlight of the spirit, I know the truth and the light, and it is here. And it manifests in amazing ways. To see that light, but you have to look towards it. Allow it to come in. Allow it to shine in, as, and through you. The light of the world lives inside of you. As you express and enjoy every minute of it. Deepak Chopra says, relinquish your attachment to the known. Step into the unknown and you will step into the field of all possibilities. You will experience the fun of life, the magic, the celebration, the exhilaration, and the exaltation of your own spirit. And that was from the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. When we allow spirit as us to set that soul free and be and do, it's when we're like children again. Expect the good in that enthusiastic way. Walk into every day with that expectation. Allow life to unfold before you, one step at a time. It's not about being in control. It's about taking that next right step and being excited about it. Having that joyful anticipation. Using our tools to have the discipline of mind and body. Knowing truth and allowing spirit to lead through that truth. Regardless of what it looks like. It's knowing it and embodying that. That is our freedom. When I no longer have to have it or do it my way, that is my freedom. When I am in that place of knowing that I know that I am cared for, carried, guided, guarded, protected, and directed. When I am knowing and seeing that highest version of life, not just as me, but the world. Seeing that world that works for everyone and spending time embodying that, cultivating it, being in that place of allowing it to become, calling it forth, treating, having affirmative prayer, and being in that place of knowing, joyful expectation. We get that choice. And when we sit in that knowing, when we are in that embodiment of the spirit, when we are our best selves, that's when we are the freest. You know, when we see children playing, they're not worried about what's happening next week, what's happening next month. They're not worried about stuff that can weigh us down. And that's always a choice. There's a power greater than I am in this universe. Ernest Holmes tells us that. And I get to use it. Are you using that free will? Are you using that power, that greatness, that allness? So as we come together, we are doing amazing things. You know, there's centers like I'm blessed to say that Concordia has flourished over the past year. We've had people come to our center from all over the world. It's not just Rhode Island, little Rhodey that we are. It's all over the world because we've been online. But we have new members even locally. And this is through a pandemic. So yes, for some that didn't happen. But our consciousness was at the place of we were attracting no matter what. We added things. We have all kinds of, we have a daily call. We have all kinds of things and programs that we're running and all kinds of classes. And we expected good things, and good things showed up, even virtually. You work with what you have and you celebrate. And we came together in person yesterday for the first time in over a year. It was amazing. So every part of life can be that homecoming. That when it comes together, it is amazing and it feels wonderful. But it's in what I focus my attention on and what I call forth that things start to happen in amazing ways. So the last song I'm going to play is Amazing Things by Michael Gordon. I love this song. And we will do amazing things. I thank you for being here. And as you listen to this song, you know, I am grateful there are people that step forth knowing truth, knowing peace, knowing love, and cultivating it as a practice. Energy is everything. And when we raise our personal vibration, we raise the all. So as you listen to this song, think of the amazing things that have already happened. Things like coming up with a vaccine in less than a year. Things like, you know, having communities come together. People, it's not about sides, it's about communities. Whenever unfortunately, when there's a tragedy or something happens, people come together. It doesn't matter, there's no sides to that. And it's being in that place of knowing that we are all one. So in this unity, in this moment, let's just cultivate that oneness. We will do amazing things.
Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
And you will do amazing things. So be in that place of knowing. Don't worry about tomorrow. Like the song said, just enjoy what this day brings. Be right here, right now, where all of your power is, all of your intention, all of your good. Anything that can happen is coming to you through this moment or not. You're the one with that free will. You're the one that gets to choose. You are the one that decides. So in this place and in this knowing, I'd like to thank you for being here. Thank you for, being part of the solution and being in peace and knowing peace and expecting peace and cultivating it together for that higher energy, that higher vibration for the good of all. And on that note, I am so grateful to be a part of this network and ntmedia.org. Please let people know about us. Let people know if you've heard good news, let them know where there is some good news. So we are here. Let people know. And if something here has blessed you, then we are here for spreading the good news and because of you. It is through your donations that makes this possible. So go to ntmedia.org and donate anything that you can, if you can. That'd be anything is welcome. We have people that have monthly donors. If you have something to offer, if you can even offer your skills, if you're good at computers and willing to learn how to help produce shows, there's needs here. Help be part of that good news. Help be part of this time. And remember that we are here at 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Central Time and 10:15 a.m. and p.m. on Eastern Time for daily prayers, daily treatment, knowing and affirming the truth. So there is so much good here, and I am thanking you for being here with me. I truly appreciate your presence. I appreciate your givingness of yourself. Join me on Thursdays for The Joy is in the Journey, where we come to a place of more fun. Allow in more joy in your life. Who couldn't use more joy, more happiness? We talk about with different people every week about how to bring about more joy in your world, your personal environment. So join me on Thursdays for that. Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time. And I'm just going to end on Ernest Holmes with some words from Ernest Holmes on freedom. And, being in that place and knowing that truth always grounds me. And this book right here, Creative Ideas, it's a wonderful little way to just grab any given day and just read a quick treatment that's going to be the truth and uplifting. So from the words of Ernest Holmes, and as we end with that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I see you. I honor you, and I love you. And with that, Ernest Holmes says to be free, from the bondage of fear, superstition, and anxiety. That I see only good. Today, I am resolved to see the good. God. Whatever there is in my thought that is unlike this has kept me in bondage is wiped away. A new spiritual enlightenment floods my mind as I become aware of the divine presence as peace, joy, and harmony at the center of my being. Whatever there is in my thought or experience that has barred me from a fuller experience of the good life is now resolved and dissolved. I accept the constructive, affirmative, creative action of God, which is boundless and free, as now making me free of all limitation. I think only of good. My experience is filled only with good. My acceptance of the good, of God, as an actuality in my life now transcends all unlike it and makes my life. And for that I say amen, and so it is. Blessings of peace and love. Namaste.